This stuff lights your fireman, the pilot lights out.
This football team is coming into our place. We're standing in our way.
This is a game of the heart. Focus and finish.
Greg Jennings caught 2 passes for 24 yards in the Vikings' Sunday night third preseason game against the 49ers. Christian Ponder also targeted Jennings on a downfield fly pattern, but he overthrew it. Jennings remains a safe bet to be the Minnesota leader in both receptions and yardage this season, and with his ADP currently in the 8th round, he provides a pretty good fantasy value. Manuel won't play in the Bills' final exhibition game after undergoing a minor knee procedure earlier this preseason. But with Kevin Kolb out with what may be a career-ending concussion, it certainly looks like it's the rookie's job by default this season in Buffalo. Oh, and did I tell you that the Bills were signing Matt Leinart? With everyone focusing on Cam Newton in Carolina, it may ultimately be the Panthers' defense that's the best fantasy play. Now, while no one will take a defense till late in the draft, keep in mind that the Panthers have spent a lot of high draft picks on defenders in recent seasons and have already registered 6 touchdowns in their first 3 preseason games. So to the extent that team defense can be a sleeper, you've got one in Carolina. There's a chance that Terrelle Pryor may be able to whittle away the starting job in Oakland from Matt Flynn. Now, Pryor has played better in preseason, and Flynn has elbow tendonitis, so Pryor's been getting all the reps with the first-team offense. Now, the Raiders have what may be the worst offensive line in recent memory, and starting Pryor may be the smart thing anyway, because who's ever back there is going to be running for their lives, and Pryor has the best chance of staying alive. He also has more fantasy upside than Flynn because of his legs. Now, on a separate note, what does this all say about Matt Flynn if he's not the starter? Seattle brought him in to be the starter last year, paid him a lot of money, and it was beat out by a rookie. And now, he's on the verge of being beat out again by what most people consider a player who's still a work in progress. And we just can't go a day without talking about Le'Veon Bell. Are the Steelers more concerned with the rookie and his injury status than they're letting on? Pittsburgh is now traded for former Cowboy Felix Jones, who was in camp with the Eagles. Now, Jones has shown the ability to carry a decent workload in the past and could emerge as a solid running back 3 or possibly even running back 2, and could turn out to be a valuable add in later rounds. So with Dustin Keller done for the season, the tight end position thought to have had a major role in Joe Philbin's offense this year, who's going to be Miami's starter tight end? Well, it looks like that's going to be Charles Clay. Clay is more of an H-back, and they'll use him both in the backfield and on the line of scrimmage, but he's not going to get the number of touches that Keller would have gotten, and Miami's going to have to adjust their offensive scheme to account for the loss. Deion Sims and Michael Agnew are the next ones on the depth chart if Clay can't get it done. Anyone hesitant about taking Giants running back David Wilson because they were concerned about him losing the starting job to Andre Brown can breathe a sigh of relief. Giants GM Jerry Reese has announced that Wilson will in fact be the starter, and if you saw his run against the Jets to open the game on Saturday night, you can see why. Understand, however, that until Wilson proves that he's capable of playing in pass protection situations, he's going to give way to Brown early on in many of those circumstances, which are going to limit his touches, particularly in the passing game. 49ers tight end Vernon Davis has just 3 catches for 33 yards this preseason, and he's not likely to play this week, so that looks like what he's going to end up with. But don't be alarmed, Jim Harbaugh has used his first-team group very little the first 3 games. Davis is poised for a huge fantasy year in Kaepernick's second trip around the league. So if you miss out on Jimmy Graham in round 1 or 2, I think you'll be well served to take Davis. To me, his ability to run after the catch is what sets him apart. He's really a wide receiver in drag. So the 10-touchdown question in fantasy is, when will Rob Gronkowski play? Well, at this point, unless we find out something different, it appears that Gronk will avoid the PUP list, which means that the Pats expect him back sometime during the first half. My best guess, he takes the field somewhere around week 4 or 5. 2 years ago, when I suggested 5'6" Darren Sproles would have serious flex appeal and perform like a running back 1 in PPR formats, I was lambasted by the pundits. I'll point out that he had 86 receptions and over 1,300 yards from scrimmage and crossing the goal line 9 times. Not too shabby. Now, as we get ready to kick off the 2013 season, consider the fact that Sproles had 75 catches last year, leading all running backs, and he missed 3 games with a broken hand. He's had 7 TD catches in each of the past 2 seasons, and with Sean Payton hinting that he's in line for more carries, he could easily crack the 10 TD mark this year. So if you have a back with 1,500 yards from scrimmage with 90 receptions that reaches the end zone 10 times, you're in PPR heaven. With just 10 days till the NFL season starts, be sure to tune in to the Roto Experts Fantasy Football News, Notes, and Analysis segment every weekday. I'll be here to keep you current and ahead of the competition daily, and on weekends, come back for This Week in Fantasy Football as I team up with the King, Scott Engel, covering the week that was and the week that will be, answering your viewer questions. For Roto Experts, I'm Mike Cardano. See you tomorrow.